Out of country music's class of '89, Travis Tritt was kind of the bad boy of the bunch.
Just miles and miles of those girls gone wild.
From the rock and roll flavor of his music to his rejection of the cowboy hat, he sure made a career and a reputation. But it's not 1989 anymore, unfortunately, and the world is a very different place. So, has Travis caught up to the current day, or is his dark past weighing him down? What's happening? Today we're looking at the secret history of Travis Tritt, his disastrous early marriages, his out-of-control kids, his secret lives as a hunter of ghosts and cougars. I mean, who the heck is Travis, really?
Sense that any of the spirits, do they have any ill intent toward me?
Before we find out, please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, if you learn one thing from it. And subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next video. But now, come on and join me as we go find out. What happened? High school sweetheart. Like I said, Travis Tritt was kind of the bad boy of that great country class of '89, but he wasn't always that way. As a teen, he looked more like Fozzie Bear than the Fonz. And when he was 18, he finally got a girlfriend. And since he was new to this whole thing, he made a classic rookie mistake. He married her. He had to get a job, so he got one in HVAC. Now his wife, Karen Ryan, also pitched in, and she began to flip burgers at Burger King, and they moved into a dumpy one-bedroom. No, it wasn't exactly Madison Square Garden, but even that was too much for Karen, because one day, Travis came home to a ransacked apartment. She loaded all her stuff up and just hit the road. So what does Travis say was the biggest cause of their divorce? Well, their marriage. Today, Karen's married to another guy and lives a quiet life. But is she really over Travis Tritt? Well, years later, she actually self-published a book about their marriage. She called it Keep the Memories, Bury the Love. And for only $7.64, it can be yours, not including shipping, of course. So, I guess you tell me if she's over him. I'm going to read it, I just haven't gotten to it yet. Dune is so long. Cougar hunting. Growing up in rural Georgia, Travis did a whole lot of hunting. But as he was moving up the ranks as an adult, he discovered a new type of game, the cougar. Travis was 21 years old when he met Jody Barnett, a 33-year-old waitress at a local nightclub. Now Travis says she was mature, smart, and petite. The traits he said that made her the opposite of his first wife. I mean, yikes, that has to sting. He asked her out, but she said he was too young for her. But leave it to Travis to just keep at it. And within a few months, he had worn her down and they were moving in together. Things were great, until Travis's career began to take off. Then he was super busy and always on the road. And Jody, who changed her entire life to adapt to his, new friends, new apartment, new, well, everything. She suddenly found herself sitting alone at home, waiting for him to come back. And this problem never was fixed, and they eventually separated. As soon as Travis began dating a new gal, he had divorce papers in his hands. That very night though, Jody called him up, having second thoughts about the divorce. But Travis knew if things had gotten this bad, they'd never get better, so he told her no way. And that same night, he wrote a little song called Here's a Quarter. It only took him 15 minutes to scribble it all down.
Just come back home. Well, here's a quarter. Call someone.
But it earned him a whole lot more than 15 minutes of fame. I mean, do you see this guy's house? Third time's the charm. After 2 failed marriages, Travis was certain he'd never get married again, and why would he? He had his pick of beautiful girls from the crowd each and every night. Beautiful women coming backstage. I mean, it's like the Grub Hub, but for women. But then that incredible lifestyle changed one night when Travis was out to dinner on his birthday. He met a young woman named Teresa and got her phone number. Now Teresa was a bit different from the other girls and women. She was mysterious. She was a student and a model, and like Travis, she was from a small town. She had even been voted Miss Leesburg in 1989, Leesburg being a tiny town in Virginia with less than 4,000 people. Eventually, Travis had to go back to Atlanta, but he kept in contact with her, and around this time, he wrote a song about her. And this one turned into More Than You'll Ever Know. Yeah, I know.
That I love you more than you'll ever know.
Not long after that, she packed up her bags and moved in. I guess she liked the tune. I mean, I wonder what she would have done if he had written a real dud. Today, Teresa goes by Kiki, and they've stuck together all these years. Together, they happily have 3 children, and they do all the typical married couple stuff, like killing bears together. I mean, everybody does that, right? No, it's just some people, okay. So Travis and Kiki lived happily ever after, right? Tyler Reese Tritt. Travis's oldest daughter, born in 1998, is named Tyler Reese Tritt, and she's following in his footsteps in more ways than one. Yeah, that means she's also a country singer just like Dad.
I can feel my heart is pounding, beating deep inside my chest.
But is she also living the same wild lifestyle that he once did? So Tyler started young. When she was just 14 years old, she recorded a duet with her dad, a cover of the great song Sometimes Love Just Ain't Enough. And as she's grown, she's launched a serious music career and toured the country both with and without Dad. But Tyler does a lot more than just sing. In 2020, when Tyler was 22, it was revealed that she was dating a fellow country singer named Michael Ray. Michael, who was 32, had just gotten divorced from his wife, a country singer named Carly Pierce. And since Michael had no problem moving on quickly the first time, of course he moved on quick from Tyler too. I think thankfully she appears to be prioritizing music over men, publicly at least. Hey, country singers can have secrets too, even if their dad is Travis Tritt. Tristan Tritt. At 25 years old, Travis's second kid Tristan has 2 sets of footsteps to follow. So he's made it a point to do things his own way, or at least that's what he says. While his dad has always had that little bit of rock and roll in his music, Tristan has decided that this is gonna be his entire thing, claiming Motorhead and Thin Lizzy as influences. Yeah, a little different than Hank Williams. In my opinion, he sounds a little softer than any of those guys. I mean, his big song sounds a lot like All Right Now by Free. All right now, can we hear a little bit of Tristan?
I'm at the right time, at the right place, right on time.
Great. As for Travis's youngest kid, Terrian, well, he's only 20 years old, and there's actually not too much to say about him yet. But I've got a sneaking suspicion he'll end up with a guitar in his hands soon. Ghost hunting. Back when he was younger, Travis was actually featured on an episode of the classic show Tales from the Crypt. Unfortunately, his character didn't make it to the end of the episode. But the spooky episode, which aired in 1995, might have actually hit a little too close to home for old Trav. Because just as they were shooting the episode, Travis was battling ghosts of his own. Years later in 2015, Travis went on the TV show The Haunting of. And as you might guess from the name, it wasn't the kind of yarn singers usually tell, like I met Merle Haggard at a bar one time and we drank 1,000,000 beers. In 1993, Travis got a cabin in the Blue Ridge Mountains, and what he found was a lot of peace and quiet. Until that peace and quiet was interrupted with really strange voices in a language he didn't understand. When he got married, he thought they'd stop. I don't know why, and they only got louder. But then when footprints began to appear on the carpet, well, they knew they had to get out of there. Years later, now when Travis was on TV, the host helped him get to the bottom of the story. So what was their take of the creepy, spooky cabin? Well, apparently an old medicine man had been murdered on that property and lingered because his soul spirit recognized something in Travis. So, for as far as ghosts go, I mean, that's not the worst. For a guy that rejected the cowboy hat, Travis has worn a lot of different hats in his career. Hey, I didn't even know he acted. And I mentioned a few of his roles earlier, but there is one that I forgot to mention, and I do think it is his best. In fact, it might be the best thing he has ever done creatively. Now, you ready?
Wild, Wild West, Wild, Wild West, Wild, 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 Wild West.
Hell yeah, that's right. Travis is not above puppets, and that's why we love him here at What Happened. Y'all, thanks so much for watching. We really had a ton of fun putting this one together, and we hope you enjoyed our Travis Tritt episode. If you did, smash that thumbs up icon, it really helps our channel grow. Subscribe to the channel, and come back often, so we can keep telling you
What happened?